Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is lecture number 15. The topic is pointers and arrays. My name is Muhammad Kaleem. Lecture outline. We will revise our knowledge of arrays. So just a quick recap of arrays, and then we move on to pointers and arrays. Concept of constant pointers, declaring pointers to an array, pointers to multidimensional array, pointers and character strings, and last but not least, the advantage of having array of pointers. So just a quick recap. We know an array is a collection of same data types. For example, an integer array holds all the elements of integer type. And why we need array? Assume if you have 100 integers and you want to calculate the average of these integers entered by user. So declaring 100 different variables, and then 100 times you need to come up with the scanf command to take input and store it, and then calculate the average. It is much better if we have a single integer array to store all the values, loop the array to store all the entered values in the array, and later on can calculate the average. So this is much better and elegant way of doing large number of variables having the same data type. Pointers and array. When an array is declared, compiler allocates sufficient amount of memory to contain all the elements of the array. Base address, that is the address of the first element of the array, is also allocated by the compiler. Suppose we declare an array by the name ARR. So int ARR square bracket 5, assign in curly bracket you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, curly bracket closed, semicolon, means you have declaring an array of size 5 type integer and initializing it with these 5 values. Assuming that the base address of ARR is 1000 and each integer requires 2 bytes. Remember, in C, integer requires 4 bytes, but just for the sake of explaining, here we have considered that each integer requires 2 bytes. So 5 elements will be stored as follows. So pictorially, we have element 1, which is ARR square bracket 0, element 2 ARR square bracket 2, and so on, having a memory address 1000, 1002, and so on. Here variables ARR will give the base address. Base address is basically the address of the first element, and the name of array always represents the address of first element, which is a constant pointer pointing to the first element of the array, ARR square bracket 0. So remember, the name of array is like a constant pointer. So that's here we have the first match between pointers and array. So the name of array always represents the memory address of the first element, and we know pointer always holds the memory address of another variable. So because address of a name of array always point to the first address, so we can think that the name of array is a constant pointer. Hence ARR contains the address of ARR square bracket 0, which is our first element, and which is at location 1000 in this example. In short, ARR has two purposes. It is the name of the array and it acts as a pointer pointing towards the first element in the array. And keep in mind, ARR is equal to address operator ARR square bracket 0 by default. So either I say address operator ARR square bracket 0, which is the memory address of the first element, is same as the name of an array. That's why it is name of array always presents the first element, the memory address of the first element, and it is also called constant pointer. Now pointers and arrays, we can also declare a pointer of type int to point to an array ARR of type int. Remember, whenever you want a pointer to point at a particular array, the type of pointer and the type of array should be same. So here is a piece of code where int star p, so I'm declaring a pointer of type integer, and then we have already declared an array of type integer previously, and I am now passing the address of an array to the declared pointer. So ARR assign p will make pointer to point at the first element of the array ARR. We do not need address sign, but like it says another way of doing is p assign address operator ARR square bracket 0. So either I pass the address of array using address operator along with the first element index number, which is 0. Either I do this way or I just write the name of array without any address sign. I can establish a link between the pointer and the array. So this way now pointer is pointing to the first element of the array ARR. We can access every element of the array ARR जो कि हमने declare किया था using p++ incrementing a pointer to move from one element to another element. You cannot decrement a pointer once it is incremented. What it's trying to say is basically that when you decrement below the initial or the first element, the pointer will be pointing to a memory location which is illegal, which is not part of the array now. So अगर array जो है वो पहले member को, say for instance first ARR square bracket 0 को point कर रहा है, तो अगर मैं वहाँ पे उसे decrement करता हूँ तो उसके पीछे की memory is not part of this program. So it will be looking at some illegal memory location. So that's why in decrementing a pointer may lead to wrong memory address. Here is an example where we declare an array and pointer and then establish a link between pointer and array, and then using for loop to print out all the values stored in array. So hash includes standard io.h preprocessor directive. Int main parenthesis is a main which return type is integer. Starting curly bracket int I, I'm declaring an array of type integer. Keep in mind the pointer जो point करेगा array को उसकी data type और array की data type should be same. So I'm declaring an array by the name A of type integer. स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट 5 मीन्स उसका साइज 5 है और उसे इनिशियलाइज कर दिया 1 2 3 4 5 वैल्यूज के साथ इन कर्ली ब्रैकेट एंड सेमीकोलन। और फिर पॉइंटर्स को मैं चाहता हूं कि पॉइंट करे अरे पे, pointing towards the first element of the array. So I'm passing the address of array to the pointer. So a assign star p int. So मैं दो काम कर रहा हूँ, मैं पॉइंटर को भी डिक्लेयर कर रहा हूँ, साथ साथ उसे इनिशियलाइज कर रहा हूँ to the array name a. I can also, ये अगर आप कमेंट्स पढ़ें तो देखें कि इसमें लिखा है कि I can also write star p assign as AND operator or address operator name of array square bracket 0 और फिर मैंने for loop लगाया और I is equal to 0 और I less than 5 तो 0 के लिए कंडीशन ट्रू है और ये प्रिंट कर देगा स्टार p मीन्स द फर्स्ट एलिमेंट। जब ith एलिमेंट I 0 है तो फर्स्ट एलिमेंट उसकी वैल्यू प्रिंट कर देगा और फिर p++ इंक्रीमेंट करेगा टू द नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट एंड नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट इज 2 और फिर इट for loop will continue unless the condition I less than 5 becomes false and the program will terminate. So it will print all the values stored in this array. There are certain points one should understand. We were using printf command in the last program and that could be written in many ways. So here are some few way of writing and printing different elements की वैल्यू प्रिंट कर सकते हैं या उसमें उसका मेमोरी एड्रेस प्रिंट कर सकते हैं। सो अगर मैं printf के अंदर a स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट I स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट लिखूं तो अरे a का ith एलिमेंट प्रिंट होगा और जैसे से a I की वैल्यू चेंज होगी 0 1 2 3 तो all these elements will be printed. So it print all the elements of an array. Second point, I can write also I square bracket a. This will also have the same impact. So this will also print all the elements of an array one by one. And the third is I can also write a plus I. Now this is again I'm printing the a plus ith element, लेकिन this time I am printing the memory address of the ith element. And if I were to print the value stored at that memory location, then I need to put star sign. So star parenthesis a plus I will give me the value of that memory location. So keep in mind, जैसा कि कहा कि name of array is like a constant pointer, तो अगर name of array के साथ आप star लगाते हो तो it will read now the value stored at that memory location. It will act just like a pointer. And the last point is star a will print the value stored at a of 0 क्योंकि खाली a जो है वो represent क्या करता है name of array और name of array is the memory address of the first element. लेकिन अगर मैं star लगाता हूँ a के साथ then it will print the value stored at a of 0. And the last point is very important. I cannot write a plus plus. I cannot increment the name of an array. Compile time error, it will come up with an error. We cannot change the base address of the array because name of array always represents the base address, the starting address or the first element address. उसको मैं इंक्रीमेंट नहीं कर सकता, यानी कि नाम को ये नेम ऑफ अरे cannot be incremented. I cannot write a plus plus. And on the right hand side, a generalized form for using pointers with array is star parenthesis a plus I. So it will read the ith element में जो value store है. And it is same as saying we already know a square bracket I. दोनों का मतलब एक ही है. Now some tricky code which may turn up in some programs, so I want you to be careful. The first line is int star const myptr assign address operator x semicolon. We read from right to left, so myptr is a constant pointer to an integer. क्योंकि const का word myptr pointer के साथ लगा है, तो it means we are declaring a pointer to be a constant pointer and it is constantly pointing at integer. और उसको initialize कर दिया किसी variable x का memory address. So generally we do not want a constant pointer. So keep in mind if you see something like that, you know that this is a constant pointer to an integer. Similarly, if you write the keyword const with a variable of any type, जैसा कि इसमें कोड में लिखा है const int x assign 10. So in this case, int x is a constant variable और उसकी value भी 10 जो assign कर देगी वो change नहीं कर सकते. So we cannot change the value of x afterwards in the program. So generally we do not use pointers as constant. What is the better way of dealing such code is const int star myptr assign and operator x semicolon. So it will be read as now here myptr is a pointer to a constant integer. Ab myptr is not constant pointer, but it is pointing to a constant integer. So this is a better way of using a pointer because you want pointer to be a variable pointer. वो कभी एक मेमोरी एड्रेस को पढ़ रहा होगा, बाज़ का किसी दूसरी मेमोरी एड्रेस को पढ़ रहा होगा, और कभी मेमोरी एड्रेस को पढ़ रहा होगा, कभी उसकी वैल्यू को पढ़ रहा होगा जो वहाँ पे स्टोर हुई है. So that means the pointer can be changed, but value stored at that memory location cannot be changed. Function cannot change the value of the variable, so there will be no side effect. So just in case if anybody come across this kind of code, he knows what is the better way out. Now pointers to array declaration. How we could declare a pointer to an array is same as in the lecture 14. We learn how we can declare a pointer to a function. अभी जो पिछला एग्जाम्पल की उसमें पॉइंटर हमने अलहदा से डिक्लेयर किया, अरे को अलहदा से डिक्लेयर किया, फिर अरे का एड्रेस जो है वो पॉइंटर को असाइन कर दिया और उसके बाद पॉइंटर जो है वो उस अरे को पॉइंट करना शुरू कर देता है, उसके पहले मेंबर को पॉइंट करना शुरू कर देता है. Here if I want a pointer to an array declaration, one could see a simple piece of code, int main parenthesis starting curly bracket int star ptr square bracket 10. How we will read it? It is not a pointer to an array. This would be wrong. Here ptr is a 10 pointers array pointing to integers. So if you declare a pointer to array like this, it will be a wrong declaration. We will read it as is a pointer of array, or it is like 10 pointers of array pointing to an integer. The reason why it is like this is the star operator and square bracket fight over ptr and in this line of code. Since the precedence of square bracket is higher than the star operator, so square bracket wins the PTR and PTR belongs to the square bracket. It means PTR is an array of 10 integer pointers, or we can also call it an array of pointers. So it is not an array to pointer, perhaps it is an array of pointers, which we will discuss towards the end. So what is the way out? How do we declare a pointer to an array? Here the way out is int main वही function है, लेकिन अगर आप देखें तो int and I put a parenthesis around star ptr and then square bracket में 10 which represents pointer to an array. अगर आप इसको कंपेयर करें द पॉइंटर टू फंक्शन जो लेक्चर हम 14 में हमने सीखा है उसमें भी हमने पैरेंथेसिस डाले थे स्टार पीटीआर के साथ और फिर जो साथ वाले पैरेंथेसिस में फंक्शंस के आर्गुमेंट लिस्ट थी एग्जैक्टली ऑन द सेम पैटर्न we can declare an array to declare a pointer to an array int parenthesis star ptr square bracket and the size of an array semicolon. So this is the way we declare a pointer to an array. And by putting parentheses, what we are doing is basically to make the precedence of star operator high, we put parentheses around ptr. Now ptr belongs to star operator rather than square bracket. Therefore, now ptr is a pointer pointing to 10 integers, or we can also say that ptr is a pointer to an array of 10 integers. So it is not like before, it is now a pointer to an array, not array of pointers, perhaps a pointer to an array जिसमें 10 इंटीजर्स के लिए स्पेस है या साइज उसका 10 है. So this way we can declare pointer to an array. This is another example which shows the working of pointers and array. We start with hash include standard io.h. and then we declare int main parenthesis starting curly bracket और फिर बैलेंस के नाम से एक array है जिसका साइज 5 है और डेटा टाइप डबल है और उसको इनिशियलाइज कर दी है 5 वैल्यूज एंडिंग विद सेमीकोलन और फिर एक पॉइंटर डिक्लेयर किया डबल स्टार p सेमीकोलन उसके बाद एक वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर किया i और फिर p assign balance means I am establishing a link between pointer and an array. और remember array का जो नाम है यहाँ पे balance है. It represents memory address of the first element. So I do not need address sign. Even though if you use address sign, that is it will also work. But by writing just the name, we are assigning the memory address of the first element to the pointer. Now pointer points to the first element of the array balance और फिर for loop करते हुए मैं उसकी ith एलिमेंट की वैल्यू प्रिंट कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि अगर printf की कमांड देखें आप तो स्टार parenthesis p plus i ये हम पहले भी डिस्कस कर चुके जैसे जैसे i की वैल्यू चेंज होगी 0 की फर्स्ट एलिमेंट 1 सेकंड एलिमेंट 2i third element and so on unless the condition I less than 5 becomes false. So this way we can pointer के जरिए all the values stored in that array balance में हम print करवा सकते हैं. Likewise, we can also run another for loop or this time we use the name of array balance plus ith element और उसके साथ स्टार लगाते हैं. तो जैसा कि पहले भी हम सीख चुके हैं कि नेम ऑफ अरे के साथ अगर स्टार लगा दूं तो नेम ऑफ अरे विद स्टार विल रीड द वैल्यू of the ith element. I की वैल्यू 0 है पहली दफा, फिर 1 है, फिर 2 है, all the way, and it will print the same value stored at that memory location. So following is the output of this program, and it shows p plus 0 का result भी वही है जो कि balance plus 0 का result है, क्योंकि both of them they are pointing at the same memory location and reading the value at that memory location. So in the above example, P is a pointer to double, which means it can store the address of variable of double type. Once we have the address in P, star P will give the value of that variable. We can also point a pointer to point at multi-dimensional array. जैसे कि single dimension array को भी हम declare किया हमने और उसे point किया to look at the first memory location, and then as I changes it will keep reading value or memory address of the ith element. Likewise, a multi-dimensional array is of the form A of I square bracket and J square bracket. So I represents number of rows, J represents number of columns. Let's see how we can make a pointer points to such an array. As we know now, name of the array gives its base address. Okay, so in a square bracket I second square bracket j, a will give the base address of the array. array का नाम चूंकि a है तो a बजाते खुद जो है वो base address या address of the first element देगा. Or even if I write a plus 0, this expression will also give me the base address. Or it is same as saying a first square bracket 0 second square bracket 0 means a array है और उसका first row का first column का जो element है, first row first column का जो element है उसका वो address देगा. और अगर मैं star लगा दूं यहाँ पे तो वो वहाँ की उसकी value देगा. So exactly same as before, it's just we have now two-dimensional array, so we will use two stars. So star parenthesis and then star a plus I plus j and then the parenthesis closed. So पहले inner पहले row first row ith element और फिर उसका jth column will read the value stored at that particular location. It is same as saying a of I first square bracket and j second square bracket. We can also have a pointer pointing at the character string. So pointer can also be used to create strings. Pointer variables of char type are treated as strings. So here is an example. If I declare a pointer, कोई भी उसका नाम हो सकता है, यहाँ पे str कहा गया. So str is a pointer of type data type char और उसको assign क्या कर दिया गया, initialize कर दिया गया उसे a string double quotes के अंदर hello ending with a semicolon. So I'm declaring a pointer as well as initializing it to a string hello. The code creates a string and stores its address in the pointer variable str. The pointer str now points to the first character of the string hello. तो जैसा कि पहले भी था, अगर वो integer type का था तो वो उसका जो नाम है वो नाम represents the first element of that array. Likewise, यहाँ पे जो str pointer है, it will be pointing at the first letter of the string जो कि declare किया गया है. तो जो लेफ्ट साइड पे रेड कलर में हमने डिक्लेरेशन की है, यहाँ पे वही चीज दो स्टेप में की गई है कि पहले डिक्लेयर किया है str एक चार टाइप का पॉइंटर और उसके बाद नेक्स्ट स्टेप में उसको असाइन किया गया है एक स्ट्रिंग डबल कोट्स के अंदर हेलो सेमीकोलन. Keep in mind the content of the string can be printed using printf parenthesis and putf parenthesis. हमने ये दोनों फंक्शन पहले भी पढ़े हैं स्ट्रिंग के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. So it will print the string, the pointer pointing at. Here is a comparison of array of pointers को use करते हुए हम number of strings declare करते हैं, initialize करते हैं, और अगर यही काम हम 2-dimensional array में अगर string store करते हैं तो which one is a better solution? Even though both works, so let's compare. In the first example, I declare an array of pointers है यहाँ पे, तो star name square bracket 3, यहाँ पे कोई parenthesis नहीं है star के साथ, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि this is a array of pointers. It's not pointer to array, perhaps a array of pointers. 3 pointers हैं और वो डेटा टाइप 4 है और उनको असाइन कर दिया 3 स्ट्रिंग्स एडम्स, क्रिस एंड डैनियल के नाम से, ठीक है, एंड curly bracket close ending with a semicolon. So these are 3 pointers and each pointer pointing at different strings. First pointer will be pointing at Adams, second pointer will be pointing at Chris, the third pointer will be pointing at Daniel. Perhaps first pointer will be pointing at the first letter of Adam, A. The second pointer will be pointing at the first letter of Chris, which is C, and the third pointer will be pointing at the first letter of Daniel, which is D. यही काम है हम 2-dimensional array में भी कर सकते हैं. If I declare an array of by the name of data type 4 और उसकी number of rows 3 है, column 20 है, और फिर उसको मैं assign कर दूं 3 strings Adam, Chris, Daniel, just like before. So same way we can initialize a 2-dimensional array. लेकिन अगर आप memory की utilization देखें, pictorially I can explain कि अगर मैं array of pointers use करता हूँ तो first pointer will be point like मैंने पहले आपको बताया कि first letter of the first string. The second pointer will be pointing at the first letter of string Chris. And the third pointer will be pointing at the first letter of string Daniel. So only 3 locations for pointers which will point to the first letter of their respective string. But if we think of 2-dimensional array, वही काम 2-dimensional array भी कर रही है, लेकिन चूंकि dimension हमने 3 और 20 दी है और हमें नहीं पता कि string में कितने वो उस नाम कितने letter का होगा, तो we to be on safe side we always mention larger space. तो यहाँ पे अगर साइज निकालें मेमोरी का तो 20 times 3 60 memory locations are reserved. Extend is still 20 memory locations. So as far as memory is concerned, string की जो declaration है और processing है using array of pointers is much better as compared to using 2-dimensional array. As it says, in the second approach, memory wastage is more. Hence, it is preferred to use pointers as far as string is concerned. So I just read the key points regarding pointers and array. While using pointers with arrays, the data type of the pointers must match with the data type of the array. Very important. तो अगर आप array declare करते हो integer type की तो pointer भी integer type का होगा. अगर आप array declare करते हो 4 and then the pointer will also be data type 4. Second point is you can also use array name to initialize the pointer like this. So p assign var without using address operator, क्योंकि हमने सीखा है कि name of array always represents the first memory address of the first element. That's why it is also called constant pointer. This is because the array name alone is equivalent to the base address of the array. So let's summarize. We had a quick recap of arrays, and then we talk about pointers and arrays, what we mean by constant pointers, and declaring pointers to an array just like we declare pointers to function. And we learn why we put parentheses around the pointer when we declare pointers to array. Uh, then we learn about pointers to multidimensional array, pointers to character strings, and last but not least, advantage of array of pointers in terms of memory locations. And thank you.